blessing to be with you here on this Monday of the Word of Encouragement. Looking forward to a good week. Despite whatever goes on around us, we can be absolutely confident that God will make our path straight and give us wisdom. He'll meet our needs, and if we're yielded to Him, He'll make our week extremely profitable. The Thessalonian Christians were growing in the Lord, and the Apostle Paul writes in chapter 3 of 1 Thessalonians in verse 2, "And sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of God and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Christ, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith, that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto." The Apostle Paul speaks about the fact that when he was in Athens, he was concerned about them, and so he sent Timothy up to be a help to them, and in two areas: to establish them, in other words, to strengthen them and cause them to be steady in their perspective biblically, and to comfort them concerning their faith. In other words, to be able to cause them to be reliant and have peace based upon the truth that they were holding on to. They had had some false teaching come through, and that's dealt with in chapters 4 and 5. And so the Apostle Paul is setting up the fact that this is why he sent Timothy. But my point is this, is that God uses people to encourage us. One of the things we must not do when we are troubled by what's going on, troubled in our life, maybe we have personal issues, isolating yourself is never the thing to do. God has so planned it that the church and its giftings are there to strengthen us, to establish us, as this verse talks about, to comfort us, to give us what we need. We need one another. We don't function on our own well. Satan is able to come in and cause us to be self-focused, to accuse us when we're not really communicating with other believers. We get caught in our own little world, and we really can get in despair if we don't watch out. And if all we're doing is listening to the news and seeing what's going on, we could really get discouraged. And so I want to encourage you, come and be in church as much as you can to hear the preaching of the Word, the teaching of the Word, just to fellowship with godly believers, to be able to bear their burdens, and they're able to bear your burdens. And so it's very important that we understand that. And so my word of encouragement to you today is stay encouraged by the means that God has given. And that's the strengthening of one another with all the spiritual gifts as we assemble ourselves. That's why the Lord said we need to assemble or forsake not the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, even as we see the day approaching. And we're very close to that day. And so if we've ever needed one another, it's today. And may God cause us to be in the right place, to be able to be strengthened as we go forward for the Lord.